Welcome back to the Tip of the Ice-Burgh podcast, brought to you as always by the Hockey Podcast Network, as well as DraftKings. Make sure you use promo code THPN when you go to DraftKings Sportsbook or the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app for great opportunities and great deals. I'm wearing my DraftKings hat right now, and we have obviously the DraftKings logo in that corner. I'm not quite used to it, but we have our Pens poll. We're still talking Seattle Kraken expansion draft. Our poll last week was, who will the Seattle Kraken take from the Pittsburgh Penguins in the expansion draft next week? Jason Zucker won that poll with 56%. Second place came Teddy Bluger. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that. 22% said Teddy Bluger. That 22%, luckily, is going to be incorrect. Zach Aston-Reese got 15% of the vote, and other got 7% of the vote. There were a couple Tanevs in there as well, but this poll came out about a week ago. Horwat, who do you think the Kraken take from the Pittsburgh Penguins here? I'll even throw up the unprotected players, the entire full list of unprotected players. Who are the Kraken going to end up taking?
So I've seen a ton of predictions say it's going to be Pettersson, which I think makes a ton of sense. He's a good young defenseman. It's an expensive contract, but he's got term. He's young with upside. Who knows what could happen there? Maybe that contract turns out to look like a very good deal one day. Mm-hmm. People are already freaking out that Tanev is basically already on the flight to Seattle. Then there's the Zucker thing, which that'd be nice to lose that cap hit, especially with the down year he had. But genuinely, I think the pick for Seattle is going to be Zach Aston-Reese because he's such an analytical darling that he's damn near impossible to replace for us. I think I've probably said that he's a replaceable player, but at the same time, I've looked into it a little further. Yeah, he's an RFA, but that's an easy RFA to sign. Nothing much there. Just young, your fourth line defender. He was an early prediction. He was an early prediction for Seattle way back before all of the drama ensued the last few weeks. And seeing it all kind of flesh out, you realize at $1 million currently, maybe 1.5 on a new deal, maybe 2 if he's lucky. That's a good deal for them, and it is a hell of a lot cheaper than Jason Zucker or Marcus Pettersson. And I played a lot of the picks that Seattle will take by way of not helping other teams out. The Penguins are in a salary cap situation. There's no reason why Seattle should just say, hey, we will take your $5.5 million contract for free to help you get out of cap hell. That's kind of why I also think they're going to straight up take Jared McCann from Toronto because they're in cap hell. They didn't have that player before, so nothing really changes for them. They're still screwed. I don't want to see Seattle helping too many teams out, and because they can still build a very good team and not give handouts along the way.
We saw Vegas kind of bail a couple teams out, and then we also saw it backfire on those couple teams. Yeah. Alex Tuck comes to mind. Jonathan Marchessault comes to mind. So there's definitely a line there that if you can help them out but still take advantage of it, that's probably going to be something Seattle's going to do. But when it comes to the Pittsburgh Penguins, I also agree that it's going to be Zach Aston-Reese. I would like to believe that we would get a lot more space if Jason Zucker was taken or if Marcus Pettersson was taken. But realistically, I think the smart pick for Seattle would be Zach Aston-Reese. I might be completely off base. And you mentioned that he's an analytical darling. He really is. And the fact is, Seattle has mentioned that they're going to have a focus on the analytical side of decision-making. And if they're doing that, there's no way that Zach Aston-Reese isn't one of the top players on their radar. I mean, you look at the list that we have up right now, nobody else on that list really strikes the boxes analytically like Zach Aston-Reese does. And if you look at the way that they can get him on a cheap deal, there's no way he's going to sign for as much as Teddy Bluger signed for, and Bluger signed for 2.2. So you're getting him for less than $2 million. I think that is probably the layup, but I could be completely wrong because I've been completely wrong about some stuff when it comes to Seattle. So who knows what they're thinking? There's 29 other picks to be made. They might make a pick that, it might cover the bases that Zach Aston-Reese would. They might want to cover the bases with Zach Aston-Reese. And as far as replacing him, you're right. It's hard to replace Zach Aston-Reese exactly in what he does. Is it hard to replace a fourth line left wing? No.
No.
Is it hard to replace a fourth line left wing that does what Zach Aston-Reese does for the Pittsburgh Penguins? It's a lot harder when you look at it in terms like that. So I do think Aston-Reese is probably going to be the guy taken by Seattle. If I'm wrong, then it's probably going to be somebody that is a higher cap hit, which would make less sense to me. But you cross your fingers and hope for the sake of Ron Hextall that they help him out a little bit. But if you look at the fact that reports were coming out that in order to take a certain player, it's a first and either 2 firsts or a first and a third. And the Penguins, 1, don't have it. 2, it doesn't seem like Ron Hextall is in any position to be wanting to trade that away.
Nope. Yeah, we don't have it. So,
and if you were going to do it, you're trading that to offload Mike Matheson, if you're doing it at all.
Exactly. But you decided to protect him. So
it's out the window.
Figure that one out. Yeah, that's watching Matheson these next few years, because it's going to be years.
Multiple.
It's
half decade.
Man, just just buckle in. Maybe
he was good last year.
Yeah, he was good last year. I mean, granted, all season we had the discussions of he's good one night and then he's awful the other. He's good one shift and then he's awful the other. Halfway through a shift, he's having changes like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a roller coaster. But you know what? Screw it. Let's enjoy him. Let's look at him as a good off-ice person. Maybe he's just a genuinely good human being, and we can at least get behind that, right? Because Jack Johnson was a genuinely good human being.
Yeah, but he was so bad on the ice that it was kind of hard to forgive it.
See, that's what we're trying not to do here. That's where also Jack Johnson left exposed.
Surprise there from the New York Rangers. But no, when it comes to looking at Mike Matheson, he was okay last year. He had some really good moments. He had some really bad moments. But at the end of the day, he's a good NHL defenseman. And if we could just ignore cap friendly, which is the hardest thing in the world to do for people, especially us, if we could just ignore cap friendly, probably be happier. But we can't ignore it. And that's why Mike Matheson's contract is always graded along with his performances every single time. But with that, we also did have a secondary poll. And it was, would you send Seattle the Penguins 2022 first round pick to offload Mike Matheson's contract? 68% of our followers said, no, I'm not trading a first round pick. I don't want to trade any more first round picks. And 32% said yes, because that contract is an Alcatraz. And to be fair, it is an Alcatraz. To also be fair, I don't want to trade any first round picks either.
Yeah, it's kind of the worst of both worlds here. We're out of picks to trade away, and his contract sucks. For what it's worth, I just don't want to lose any more first-round picks either. That's my way of looking at it, but also the fact that he can be an upside at times. Mm-hmm. We have that going for. We have a solid second power play unit defenseman, right?
Yeah, he's a really good puck-moving defenseman too.
Yeah, like there is upside. We just got to find it, and luckily we found it a pretty good amount last season. Mm-hmm. It just needs to stay. He needs to be worth the $5 million that we're paying him. The length of the contract is a whole nother dispute. The modified no trade clause is a whole nother conversation. It's not fun, but it's what we're stuck with here. And it's something that we can live with. I cannot live with losing yet another first round pick, my guy. I get we got Kapanen back. Cool.
We got Hollander. He was a second round pick in 2018.
Cool, but I'd like to have some more. I mean, it's important. It's important to have picks, but it's even more important to have the good ones, especially whenever, like I said, this upcoming draft, we're taking with a grain of salt for a little while because there could be diamonds in the rough very deep because no one's been able to scout properly. So maybe the Penguins strike gold with not one of their sevenths, but maybe that third or second, whichever one the hell we have. Maybe something happens good there, but years after when scouting is back to normal, those are the years you want to have the picks for. You don't want to try and get lucky. As much as it can happen and players can surprise you, it's not ideal. You want to at least try and know what you're getting.
So that's going to do it for this episode. We have broken down all of the major news of this past week. We have a couple really huge weeks coming up. Like we said, Seattle expansion draft on Wednesday. We have an NHL entry draft starting on Friday. We have free agency coming next Wednesday. But Horwat, before we go, I did want to ask you one other thing. The Seattle expansion draft is going to be the first televised event of the new ESPN era. What are you looking for as far as their coverage of this event?
That
it's already on ESPN too. So
that it works on my ESPN Plus, because I was not able to watch the All-Star game or the Home Run Derby. Well, actually, I couldn't see the All-Star game because I wasn't home, but still, I couldn't watch the replay of it. Oh, that's because it was on
Fox.
Yeah. Still, I could not watch it. I cannot watch the Home Run Derby like I really, really wanted to. Yeah, hopefully I'm just able to watch it. If not, I will just need you to tell me all of the things that happen whenever we are live streaming. And yeah, that's most of what I'm expecting from ESPN. Other than that, just, yeah, damn it, have some fun with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what analysts they have covering the event. I'm excited to see the way that they present it. And I'm excited because it is the first of 7 years. We're going to have ESPN for 7 years. So there's nothing like a first impression. And this is going to be ESPN's first impression since striking the new deal.
Do we know the details of the draft itself? Like, is it going to be in person? Is it they're going to be?
No, they have a lot of stuff. Seattle has a lot of stuff planned. They have multiple locations around the city planned to include. So I'm not sure what it's going to look like, but it's definitely going to be a performance of some sort. It's going to be interesting, to say the least.
That'll be fun. And I hope there's some sort of order set, honestly. So we can plan out a live show, and so there's just a little bit of knowledge. I mean, if I remember back to the Vegas one, it seemed very random. I mean, Fleury seemed to be their biggest pick, but yet wasn't their last pick. And there was, I believe, Calvin Pickard was the first pick. Yeah, because I texted this to you. Calvin Pickard was their first pick, and then it ended with Nate Schmidt. But Fleury was taken one before that. I don't know. Things were very weird last time because they were also doing the awards that night. I remember that now.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you were when Fleury got taken, since we're on the discussion, and then we can get going?
I don't remember where I was. Honestly, I don't remember where I was during that expansion draft. I know I didn't watch it.
I know I didn't watch it because I was in Newcastle playing softball with our buddy Nick Ballard.
Is that where I was too?
I
believe I would imagine.
I wasn't driving you though, because I remember getting the notification driving home by myself.
Oh, well, I don't know.
So
I have no idea where I was. I'll have to try to figure that out. But for right now, that's going to do it for this episode of the Tip of the Iceberg. Like I said, tune in on Wednesday to hear us discuss who is taken from the Pittsburgh Penguins by the Seattle Kraken. We'll be talking about that. We'll be announcing our winners of the Pittsburgh Clothing Company t-shirt giveaway. So we have 2 t-shirts that we're going to give away to 2 lucky individuals. Make sure you get in on that. You have a couple days left. But for right now, we say goodbye. That's going to be it. Have a good one, Pens fans. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.